So we got NC State and Carolina on Saturday. It's going to be an intriguing matchup, which I still expect Carolina to win. I think most people understand, or at least I understand them to be the better team. But this past weekend, NC State and Carolina played on the women's side at Carmichael. And it was a sellout crowd. I forgot when the last time it was that Carmichael sold out for a women's basketball game, but this was a big deal. It had been a while. I saw the women's basketball Twitter account saying rank win, check, sellout crowd, check, alums home, check, quite a day at Carmichael. It's not lost on me that all of this is against NC State. It's not lost on me that it doesn't come too far after Courtney Bangart's comments about NC State being irrelevant, essentially, and having to walk that back, which whatever. Those things don't necessarily get to me. But it's another instance where NC State is viewed in a particular way in the rivalry, and yet fans certainly show out for these types of games, and I usually hear the most amount of chatter about these types of things when NC State and Carolina play basketball. I say this, Joe, understanding that that's part of the shtick. It's a feature of the NC State-Carolina rivalry. It's what kind of keeps the thing going. But deep down, it matters to them, and we saw it on Saturday in that NC State-Carolina women's basketball game.
Their first sellout since the 2014-15 season.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
So first one under Courtney Bangart.
And if I'm not mistaken, with with Carolina hosting NC State on Saturday in Chapel Hill, are they having another celebration of a former team?
I think we're getting the 93 team.
We're getting the 93 team?
Yeah.
Okay. What did we get last year in Chapel Hill?
That was the 82 team.
With Roy Williams?
With Roy.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened that day? They smoked NC State to the point where Roy Williams at halftime was like, keep whooping their ass. Yeah. All right?
They were feeling pretty good that day, yes.
They were. So I just bring that up as kind of like a little bit of a, hey, y'all need each other.
It played out exactly how I said it would this summer.
Yeah.
With Courtney Bangart when she was running her mouth about NC State not being relevant in women's basketball. NC State, if you don't know, has won the ACC championship 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. So how is the champion of your league not relevant?
Yeah.
And also, I made the point, your team is on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
You probably will have the best team in the league this year. And guess what? When you do beat NC State next year, what are you supposed to say? Oh, well, they're not relevant, so it doesn't matter. I mean, so again, I hate being right. No, I don't.
No, you don't. You love being right.
No, I don't.
And after Saturday's NC State win over Miami, Terquavion Smith had some comments that it's been interesting to see how they've been construed.
Yes.
And in fact,
they've been compared to Drake May's comments from the football season where Drake May basically said nobody can get, if you get into Carolina, if you go to state, it's because you couldn't get into Carolina.
Essentially, yeah. That's essentially what it was.
Trash talk. That's fine.
And I had no problems with what Drake May said. Again, it's all part of the feature of the NC State-Carolina rivalry. And I saw Theo Pinson retweet nah, man, they come here for this. We come to Carolina for this.
Right.
But here's Terquavion Smith essentially calling out Duke and North Carolina after they beat Miami.
I feel like other people and other colleges in North Carolina kind of feel like they're always better than us because they wear blue. But honestly, I just want people to know that you can come here too. It's the same as it is over there. They do the same stuff we do. They just got different courses.
The different courses part, I can see some people being like, "Oh wait, is that a dig at the academics?"
He's not even old enough to know that,
Sure. But I heard those comments after the fact, right? I just saw some social media hubbub over the weekend. I'm like, okay, what's going on now? And to your point, yeah, some people were like, well, where's the heat on Terquavion Smith versus Drake May? First and foremost, anybody giving Drake May heat for what he said earlier in the football season needs to go outside and touch grass, okay? That's just rivalry talk. That's something that's been...
his whole family went to the Carolina.
Come on.
So
if there's anybody
Charlotte,
who gets
where
it,
he grew up in the state of North Carolina. So yes, Drake May has a firm handle.
Yes,
on things that are Carolina.
Mark May was a celebrated college quarterback at North Carolina back in the late 80s. His brother Luke May was a nightmare for the Wolfpack, and Drake May knows all about it, and he was engaging in his part. If anybody knows the dynamics of that rivalry, Drake May is going to know it. So I never understood the issue.
I get why Duke, we haven't heard from Duke, But I get why Theo Pinch in North Carolina be like, no, it's not because we wear blue. It's because we win.
Yes.
And we win championships. Yes. That part I get.
That part I get. But
he wasn't saying like, oh, you're dumb if you go to Carolina or whatever. I mean,
can we hear the
confused?
Yeah, let's hear the Terquavion Smith quote one more time from Saturday.
I feel like other people and other colleges in North Carolina kind of feel like they're always better than us because they wear blue. But honestly, I just want people to know that you can come here too. You know, it's the same as it is over there. Like, they do the same stuff we do. They just got different courses.
So essentially, look,
and shout out to Carolina Blitz for getting the clip.
Yeah, Vashti got that out there. So the way that I would interpret what Terquavion is saying is, hey, man, it's possible to win here too. It hasn't happened, obviously, but it's possible. You can still come here. You can still compete. You can still get some big wins. You can get a building that will be about you. All these things are true. It just hasn't happened at NC State for a very, very long time, and it's been happening at Carolina and Duke for a very long time. I credit him, man. He's just trying to look.
He's also from Farville. He's from this, he's from the state. He won the state championship 3 times. So he's a guy, that's what he's talking about. I don't think he's necessarily talking about the courses part. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know. And anyway, I'll say this. I'll end my comments about what Terquavion Smith said. If you're an old timer, you should love what Terquavion Smith had to say, because what do we typically hear from old timers when we talk about ACC basketball? The league is better when all 3 were competing. We reminisce about the Big Four tournament. We reminisce about those meetings in the ACC championship. They were heated battles in the regular season. They had stakes, okay? That's why you watch. That's what pulls you in. It's no fun when somebody's down. It's no fun when you beat somebody all the time. Well, I take that back. It is fun when you beat them all the time, but you want it to be competitive. You don't want it to be sad. Why do you think the Duke-Carolina game was what it was in the Final Four? These 2-story programs meeting in the Final Four with all the rivalry stakes and everything else, and they delivered. That's what you want. So it'd be nice if NC State participated too. I'm not saying that this is some sort of turnaround for the Wolfpack. I'm simply pointing out that what Terquavion Smith is what you want players to say when they're at these rivalry institutions. They want to be participants. They want to be good, and everybody's better for it.